What's up, world? This is We Need a Fifth, and this is your man Mo. I got my man P in the building.
What up?
Got my man Hill on the line.
Busy Saturday, busy Saturday.
Fellas, like Hill just said, it's been a busy Saturday. Colorado, Coach Prime, played USC, Caleb Williams, potential Heisman candidate, last year's Heisman winner, went up to Colorado. USC won, but it was a close game. I think a lot closer than anybody expected. Um, USC ended up beating them 48-41, if I'm not mistaken. Colorado was able to make a late push in the second half. Um, First, did you guys get a chance to see the game, and what were your thoughts on the game and what Colorado was able to show in the law?
Yeah, I got to see the whole game. I think USC is really just the better team, especially with all the injuries on the in the secondary with Shiloh Sanders and Travis Hunter. But they showed a lot of fight. They could have, no, I want to say they could have laid down. You don't want to ever lay down, but they showed a lot of fight. So, and they showed, I think it was the freshman receiver, the freshman cornerback. So, they got some young talent on that team that they just getting an opportunity to show what they got now.
Phil, did you get a chance to see the game?
Yeah, start to finish. First of all, I want to apologize to you in regards to Caleb Williams. I mean, you're talking about clear cut favorite for Heisman, and I'm pretty much pushing for clear cut number one pick. That UFC offense sort of parallels to me what the Kansas City Chiefs do. They have their moments on defense. They have defensive players, but for the most part, there are holes in that Kansas City, defense. I don't know. Granted, Allen plays well, and you have Honey Badger 1 year, but you could pick apart Kansas City. It's just that they have way too many offensive juggernauts led by Caleb that I just don't think, it's enough. Like we were talking about, I want to see them play like a really good defensive team. I wonder if this offense is just that good and that well-oiled, or are both of these teams this flawed on defense? You know what I mean? The fact that, they were able to put up that many second half points, Colorado, in the second half, it wasn't lulls. It was pretty much parts of their defense that, lacked, and maybe Shedeur started to get into a rhythm as he got hit a little bit more in the second half, and he started to look flawless later. You know what I mean? So it's just it's hard to gauge. I want to know how the critics will look at Colorado as if exiting the first half and then just the way they played in the second half, and maybe doing a run in which they go undefeated from now on and they have 2 losses in the way that they finished the second half. Will that play a part with them later in, certain bowl contentions, or maybe even a playoff situation? I don't know, depending on how they go further. But they showed a lot in the second half. I just want to know, were you swayed by the way they were getting outplayed in the first half, or their resilience in the second half?
I personally, um, I admire their resilience and the way they were able to fight back and the way they were able to adjust, especially players like Shador. I thought in the first half he was holding on to the ball a little too long in certain situations. So similar to the game in Oregon, I felt there was a number of times where, hey, you throw it away or you have to make quicker decisions. I think he's been holding on to the ball for that home run hit. instead of just allowing himself to take what the defense is giving him. I think as the game progressed, that's what I admired, that he was able to switch to that mode of, hey, I'm going to take what the defense is giving me and exploit it. And I thought that's part of the reason why they were able to make a comeback, especially in the second half. But I think I understand the hype around Coach Prime, and I understand that he's brought some really excellent players with his sons, Travis Hunter, Edwards, a lot of quality players to that organization. But realize too that this is a team that won one game last year. He has 10 players from that team still on this team. So he has close to 80 some odd players, new players to this program, through the transfer portal and just recruitment. My thing has always been my expectations. If they go 6-6, I think that they should consider it like they won a championship in Colorado. I don't think people don't realize how big a hill Colorado is climbing right now, especially considering how much they've sucked in the last 20 years. You know, like, I'm not expecting them to contend for a championship, and I think people need to calm that type of hype down. Like I said, I'd be happy if they go 6-6, and I think that, hey, they go 6-6. Shoot, Prime might need to go back to them and ask for a raise. That's where I'm at with it, especially looking at their schedule, because even though I think the most difficult schools, they've passed that portion of their schedule as far as Oregon, USC. I don't think they're ever going to have 2 weeks like this again in their schedule, but they still have ranked opponents on their schedule. They still have UCLA, Stanford, Utah. They have a number of good teams that, hey, it's going to be a toss-up whether or not they're going to be able to win it. And it's going to be a like I said, a uphill climb for them to get to relevancy as far as championship aspirations are concerned. Am I wrong in this, or am I bugging?
It's all expectations, like you said. You know what I mean? 6-6, and I understand that you feel strongly about the one win, but like you said, those players are pretty much gone. So
That was last year.
yeah, but that's that's a whole different team. It's not like he's taking the same players from that one win team and now he's back with them. He got rid of all of them. No, it's been a great turnaround, and I think that's majority of the hype is the turnaround. But hyperbole is hyperbole. Like 6-6, no one's striving to be 6-6. You're just not.
Okay, I just think that, especially considering the obstacles he's had to overcome just to get a team.
No, 6-6 is
and he didn't have like a full year to recruit and stuff like. So it's not even like he got a freshman class. Like, it's the dudes he brought with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, y'all really expect a one-win team from last year to win 10 games now?
No, I don't think 10, but I think we went over this. I think we're saying what, 7 to 8 wins. So you're not far off even with the 6-6.
And it's like they have at least, I think, 4 or 5 ranked teams that they're playing.
Yeah, I
on
mean,
that schedule.
so does everybody else in the Pac-12. Like it's just you're gonna have to beat a ranked team sooner or later. That's just what it is.
I mean, 6-6, he had to lose to some bad teams as well, too, though. And 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 you're a miraculous drive away from losing to a bad Colorado State team. You were favored to beat by 21 points. So this could have been 3 losses in a row. I mean, the narrative could have switched really, really different. These 2 are definite losses. Like, could have came back from down 21 points. It's a nice story, but you were down 21 points.
Yeah, when we
Like,
spoke, yeah, when we spoke about this earlier, like I was saying, like I had these 2 down for losses.
absolutely. I didn't have
I-
Colorado State. That was an easy win.
right,
It could have lost that
right.
game.
See, that would have been like a bad loss, but Oregon and USC, despite the point differential or whatever, I expected them. I mean, I'm rooting for Dion, I'm rooting for Colorado, but I expected them to lose these past 2 games.
Right. By 2 or by 40, it really wouldn't matter. But trust me,
Right.
the 40 was not a good look on either way, though.
Yeah, that was bad. At least now, I think maybe some of the pregame shows might come back to Colorado. Another blowout, it might have been over. It might have been over. There's no reason to go back there. They lost by 40 again or whatever they lost by.
Yeah, and I was just looking at their schedule. It looks like they got Oregon, Oregon State, and Washington State are the next 2 ranked opponents that they face. They play Arizona, Stanford, UCLA, and Arizona State. That's the remainder of their schedule, I believe, or at least up until Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's the next 6 games. It sounds like so. Yeah, I think 3-3 would be okay.
Oh, and Utah.
Yeah.
Utah is the last team in that schedule.
I mean, divisional pack games,
So they got
generally
3.
speaking, unless you got a cutting edge quarterback like they do, or a high powered offense like Oregon, these pack games could be nail biters each game. They just
Yeah.
know each other, though.
Yeah, Washington State's a pretty good team. Oregon State's pretty good. Like there's no
And Utah, don't forget
yeah.
them too.
Yeah, so they've played the easiest teams they're gonna play. That's over with.
Yeah.
These are all ball games coming up.
Right, right. So the fact that I mean, there's a general letdown because there's so much hype with these guys. But it's only natural. I'm not going to say just by a statistical standpoint, 6-6 is an improvement. I'm not gonna, but I don't want to pop champagne, is what I'm saying. But it's just an improvement. And I think you just want to show year by year by year, if Deion's going to do the long haul, that he's improved over the next couple years to build up a program, which he can proud of, which is recruiting, retainment, being the number 1 place to go. And I think that's pretty much having that Alabama feel. When you just come into a new season and say, I don't know what's going on, but I got Alabama. That's how you want to feel about Colorado. And I think that's what he's building towards.
Who that?
He
Caleb?
won me over. Yeah, Caleb Williams won me over today.
He's pretty good.
No, I think he's good. I think he's good. I think he's good. I've seen Mike Vick. I've seen Vince Young. So he looks good. He looks good. No, I'll be honest. I didn't see nothing extraordinary that I haven't seen before, and maybe some of that's the announcers, really drumming him up. But I think he's a good quarterback. But I know I've heard people say he's the greatest prospect we may ever seen at quarterback.
You didn't see it, huh?
I think, like I said, I saw Vince Young. I've seen Michael Vick. I don't think he's that. He may end up being better at the next level, but I think he's a good. I think he's a good quarterback with an excellent team, a good offensive line.
Yeah, I see smooth. I mean, For me, I saw Mahomes. I don't know if that was too much. That's a huge stretch. I see
I'm not
this
ready
kid
to
is
give
just
him
so
that.
fluid.
I'm not ready to give him that, but I think, to your point, Pete, I think he is better than both of those quarterbacks you named,
I
Vince Young
disagree.
and Michael Vick. I
I
think he's
disagree.
better than
I strongly disagree. I think if you give Michael Vick that offensive line, and again,
I,
I don't see what he could do that Shador can't do. That's my thing. Like, forget the all-time guys. I'm not even sure he's the best quarterback on the field today.
I just think his arm talent is above average, to say the least. You know,
But
his arm.
Shador could sling it too. To me, it's processing. P. I think the way his secondary and tertiary reads for me watching him and being to be able to make that decision quick. That's where it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's patter feet, patting the ball. To me, it's just a processing issue, which people tend to, change as they get older and get better. I just think he's just matured quicker than others at his point.
And that may be true, but playing not even devil's advocate, but I think some of that might be the offensive line. You know what I mean?
A lot of it could be the offensive line,
right? So I'm not even sure that's something he may very well process quicker than Shador, but he may not. It might just be he has more time to process because his offensive line is better. So I truly don't see where he could do anything better than Shador.
Right. See, I think Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh had a great offensive line, and his tertiary secondary reads threw it to the wrong person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, like,
and the only pushback
I like this kid quite a bit. I'm eager. I'm eager already to see the next level.
And the only pushback I would have, Pete, is like, hey, it would be different if he only did this against Colorado. He does this to everything he's played, whether they ranked or not. Now, whether his defense can stop the other team from scoring as well is the thing. But as far as, hey, with him, you're going to be in the shootout. You may be able to score on his defense, but you won't be able to stop him from scoring. Like, he does that to everybody. He makes everybody look like Colorado.
And so I mean, that being the case, and the Oregon game did happen, but if you take away the Oregon game, I can say the same thing for Shador. The exact same thing.
I'll put it to you like this: like, coming into Colorado game, he already thrown for 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, but who did they? I mean, I get.
I think they played Utah. They played the ranked opponent before Colorado.
I need to see more. And the guy, he's putting up crazy numbers. Like, if I was voting for the Heisman, I probably would vote for Caleb Williams. I'm not blind. You know what I mean? I want to seem like I'm just trying to say the kid's not good. He's a good player. If I had a vote, I would vote him for the Heisman right now. I just don't think he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
I mean, he could also be one of those quarterbacks that could be extravagantly too good for college and okay for the NFL. We've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen Sam Bradford. I've seen Colt McCoy, who are excellent college, right? Who are excellent college quarterbacks. It doesn't always translate.
No, and that's what I'm scared of. But I feel good him going to the next level, whether it be the Jets.
But actually, the Jets actually are pretty much a ready-made team, to be honest. It's just that one. It's just that position, unfortunately. Yeah, fortunately for him, maybe, but yeah.
I mean, for someone, they got an offensive line, they got a great defense. They have a semi-good coach, which is coming up. I love them in San Francisco's defense, but a head coach, I don't know. But Salah's getting there, ready-made, and then you have Zach Wilson. So, you still have to have some type of. Zach Wilson doesn't look like he should be playing
football,
Tecmo Bowl, let alone being in the NFL.
Fellas, WNBA action is in full effect. playoff action has been happening. We're in the semifinals. One team has already handled their business. Congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces for making it to the championship round once again, second year in a row. And you got one side still waiting to conclude their business. New York Liberty are up 2-1 against the Connecticut Sun. New York Liberty player Brianna Stewart won an MVP since the last time we talked, I believe. So wanted to mention that. Fellas, I know you guys have been watching. I know. I've been wearing on you guys. What do you think of these WNBA playoffs, the semifinals? What do you think about the Las Vegas Aces? Asia Wilson, she's been cooking. She's cooking. She's hungry. She won second. I heard her.
Let me get out you guys' way. Again, I've been saying this for the summer. Let me know when Liberty and the Aces are in the finals.
That's what you have, P. You didn't watch one game of these playoffs.
That's where I've been since the summer. That's where I've been.
Hill, talk to me. I know you got something good to talk to me about, man. What's up? Have you been able to watch any of the WNBA playoffs? Have you been able to watch this great basketball action?
Yeah, actually, they have the four best teams in. For one, they have the four best teams in. Which is the start. And it looks like they're gonna have the two best teams in the finals. But Asia looks like she's ready to buzzsaw and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been watching the way that Gray has been setting this team up for success, bro. And Asia gets a lot of credit, but having that, having that quarterback, I think I touched on that before. I watched the last game, and
their guard play is crazy.
Her point guard level. I mean, the skill level from the wings as well is just, this game is more fluent. I must say that. Mm-hmm. From a basketball standpoint, it's not those important watches that we watched when the league started, to be fair. Minus the comment.
Yeah, the comment's legit. Like, the comment's legit.
Tough, man.
Yeah, minus the comments. Wow. Minus the comments. The level of play is just is much better. These women can play basketball. So the high scoring it's decent, mid 70s, some 80s. The league is skewing in the right direction. So it's not that difficult to watch, and the competitive spirit is decent. It's decent. I want New York to bring home a chip, but it'll be a tough task. But it's what we want, though, the two best teams in the finals. So let's hope the Liberty can take care of business.
Guys, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Are you guys checking out for the WNBA playoffs? Who do you have for the final and champion? Do you think the Aces will be able to take their second championship in second year of Becky Hammon's coaching career? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like and notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast, and hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, I feel like this has been the story that we've all been waiting to talk about. Major NBA offseason news. There was a blockbuster trade, and I know blockbuster trade is often utilized in this a lot of times, but I think this is one of those rare times. It is a blockbuster trade. We got Damian Lillard, Portland Trailblazer, formerly Portland Trailblazers, being traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in a 3-team trade involving Milwaukee, Portland, and Phoenix. Milwaukee sends Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, I believe 2 other players, along with picks to Phoenix.
I guess Keon Clark and Little don't deserve anything, but I'm with you on that. I agree.
Keon
2 other
Clark,
players
I'm
is good enough
sorry.
for me as well.
I forgot the other 2 players. I'm sorry, yo. Thank you
Keon
for the
Clark,
cleanup. They go to Phoenix, and Portland gets Phoenix gets Nurkic and Grayson Allen, Keon,
and Little.
Excuse me, and Portland gets Drew Holiday, a couple 2029 pick, first round pick, I believe, and a couple of pick swaps.
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre
Ayton.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm missing the major players in it.
Mister, give him the ball more.
David Robinson.
Hakeem Olajuwon. Take a pick, Wilt.
We'll hope for Andrew Bynum at this point.
Also, I have to mention that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying that you could take the guy that was drafted by Portland, who they thought would be the next Wilt Chamberlain. Let him not be that either.
Also, we have to take into consideration Portland can't keep Drew Holiday. They're gonna have to trade him or release him.
Why is that? You said they can't?
Yeah, I
mean, I know they look into.
I don't want to go out on a limb, but I know that they're in a position they won't be able to keep him.
It might be salary cap.
Because of his, yeah, it might be salary cap or something to do with his contract or something to that effect. But for whatever reason, they're gonna have to move him.
I'm happy for him.
So this deal is still in the works, if you say, the end of it. First, what do we think about this deal for Milwaukee?
Excellent. Hate to see Drew go. Big fan of Drew Holiday's game. But I mean, at the end of the day,
Grayson Allen's going with him.
Okay. Like I said, big fan of Drew Holiday. Yeah, like I said, big fan of Drew Holiday's game. But at the end of the day, it's an upgrade. You know what I mean? You get Dame. You just Dame and Giannis. I'll take my chances.
Hill, what are your thoughts on the deal for Milwaukee?
It's a slam dunk. It's a no-brainer. I mean, you could have threw in Billie Holiday's catalog if you wanted to, and put with Drew Holiday, wouldn't have mattered. That's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Get a chance to match up a premier point guard with possibly an all-time great. You do it. These don't come along too often. Most of the time they have to mature into these things, like a Kobe and a Shaq. You know what I mean? Getting these 2 players. You know, so let's face it, Milwaukee with some luck got to where they needed to get to, but they didn't have a secondary star like this.
Yeah,
and it's what they needed.
And for the superstars out here, I feel like Giannis just gave you the blueprint. So it's like to make the franchise get you help. You know, anytime they ask him, "Are you going to resign?" His rebuttal is basically, "I don't know. Are they going to surround me with talent?"
All right, so Pete, but let me ask you this. To your point, And I know you say, hey, that's a blueprint. But I think players have done that. I think Milwaukee, I think if anything, this trade has shown what a organization that's really thinking about championships and being competitive when it comes to competing for a championship and being able to really compete for a championship, what they look like. Because a Milwaukee, to your point, said, "Oh, our superstar who already got us a championship says, oh, he needs to see us do something to sign the next, oh, so they did something." But Portland, for example, Damian Lillard's been saying that for years.
Right, but he's like he's loyal to a fault though. They know he's not going nowhere. Because Giannis did this already. This is how they got Drew. I truly don't think they would have got Drew if he didn't say that before. So this is really the second time this is happening. And I feel like if Dame, he could say, "Oh, I want help, I want help," but they're like, "Well, if you sign a contract, we don't have to get it to you." And then
the squeaky wheel gets the oil, but this guy's been squeaking all
yes.
that time, and that guy's been squeaking all that time down in Philly. And what's that about?
Are we talking about Embiid or Harden?
Take your pick.
No,
but I'll go with Embiid. I'll go to Embiid because it's his place.
And Embiid, I've been a fan of his like a long time. I don't see what he got to complain about. You had prime Ben Simmons, you had Jimmy Butler, you had James Harden.
I think that's where the complaints for Embiid would start. For if I was writing that story, it would start when they got Jimmy Butler, and you decided to let him go because Ben Simmons didn't like it. And for me, if I'm Embiid with Philadelphia, if I had a problem with them, that would be it right there. It would be, hey, you had a chance to make a decision based on your number one guy, and y'all chose Ben Simmons to be that number one guy in that moment. Because if I was your number one guy, Jimmy would still be here.
Now they definitely chose wrong, but the fact of the matter is, they had Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons. They didn't win.
And James Harden.
Right. Like, you know what I mean? So I understand. I understand what you're saying. Like, they should have chose Jimmy Butler over Ben Simmons. Absolutely. But he had both of them and he lost. That's on him. That's the way I look at it.
Now the other team in the trade that I want to talk about, Phoenix Suns. How do we feel they came out in this trade? For me, I had reservations about the Phoenix Suns bench, what they would do defensively, how physically tough this team could be, especially now. But I think some of those questions were answered with the role players that they were able to acquire in this deal. Hey, I think at the very least they shored up their bench. Am I alone in that thought with this trade?
Yeah, maybe, Mo, because I think if you're looking at it from a quantity standpoint, yeah, they got enough people to fill up a roster because that's what you need to do. But I don't know if it's salary, maybe because of salary cap, and you have to adhere to certain rules that you can't acquire some best talent. This is probably what they have to fill their squad up with. I don't see them as a good team. You know what I mean? Nurkic, if he's a viable center like he was in Portland, we can play. That should help them, but they don't play through the big man. They just don't. And I don't know if Vogel could change that. And why would you if you have all that offensive firepower? I don't know how Nurkic will be helping you because he can't run up the court with these guys. So a center pretty much with these guys don't work. They don't need, like, Ayton is a better fit for them because he's younger and athletic, and Ayton couldn't make it up the court. You need someone just that's long enough to run with these guys and be athletic.
Yeah, I
So,
kind of feel
I
like
don't see
DeAndre
help.
Ayton. Yeah, I feel like DeAndre Ayton, he got pretty much killed while he was there. I'm not sure that Yusuf is better than him.
I think he's
You know what I mean?
worse.
Right. So I don't think this trade changed my how I look at Phoenix as far as a championship contender.
I think they addressed no needs. I thought the move for them was to, yes, get their bench better, which they didn't do. I'm sorry, and find a way to get a point guard.
Yeah.
It had to be a point guard that y'all landed in this trade some way somehow. I don't care where you got it from, whether it be a coup. You need a table setter. At this point in time, I'll take oh man, a serviceable table setter.
And to your point here, I was surprised in this deal that they didn't push to get Drew out of the deal.
They probably couldn't afford that. That's just way over. I mean, that's way over.
You got Bill Durant and Booker.
More. I think between Bill Durant and Book, I think Bill might be the highest out of all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Bill might give you like 52, 53 million. Mm-hmm. Bad contract. I mean, so I look at that squad. It's a tough squad. Yeah, Damian Lee. I still got Terrence Ross. I'm trying to find picks in which this team could just be Grayson Allen. Yeah.
I mean, I think they're a top
I don't
four
know.
team. I think they're a top four team in the West. I thought that
Oh
before the
yeah,
trade.
certainly. But there's
I would say top 6.
no. I mean, they should be good, but their needs, and the ultimate thing is to win a championship. And the Lakers address needs, and the Lakers have a good point guard and backup point guard. Lakers have a good 2-guard and backup 2-guard. You know what I mean? They got bigger, they got longer pause. You know what I'm saying? They got better on the boards. Anthony Davis gets help with Jackson Hayes. I mean, and I don't know how Vogel uses his coaching scheme. I mean, how does he utilize Bobo? Vogel's a defensive guy.
And
You know what I'm saying? So,
and to your point, I think Phoenix is going to have to be healthy. It's going to have to stay healthy, and I think especially with Durant and Beal, they haven't shown that, at least in the last couple of years, that they can stay healthy for entire season. And I think this team is going to rely heavily on their big three being, available to carry them through. That's why I say top 6 team.
Oh, Mo, I think I think we all agree on this. This is all things perfect, right? That they all healthy throughout the season, right?
Yeah. Because you can say the same with the Lakers. If LeBron and AD go down, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
If Steph go down, it's a wrap. If Joker goes down, sheesh.
Yeah, Joker goes down. I want to be careful with that LeBron goes down thing.
You think AD's go? Well, you'll be the Pelicans.
Yes.
He'll turn into the Pelicans.
I think the Lakers are a good team with or without that guy.
I don't think they're a championship team without that guy. Put it out.
I think he's the reason why they won't get a chip. I think he'll be the reason why they'll get. I think he's the reason that could get them to a championship, and he'll be the reason why they won't win a championship.
Whoa. All right, I'm gonna go to the next the question I
Year
have.
21, this guy's that. No. I won't. Year 20. I won't be a fool like that.
I'm gonna go to the next question when we get real disrespectful.
That's not just he's 20. It's his 21st year. You relying on that guy to get you to a championship?
Jimmy
Is he
Key,
like 93?
Jimmy Key, what is he, 40?
Yes, I'm saying. Like, he's got 21st years. What's he, 98? You looking for this guy to give you what? If he gives you 16 points and help guide you guys to making it to the playoffs and maybe a chance, he's done his job. If you're expecting that guy to take you to the no way in hell. No way. No way. If they run that same old stale offense through LeBron, they could forget anything.
You sure about that?
They have
sure
horses
about
let
that?
them run.
That's the lifelong Laker fan hill.
That tight offense through that guy is going to be disgusting. If they run through him, it's over. I'll tell you game one. If it's ran through him, forget about it. They got players. Let them play. I digress. There was another team in this too, right? Wasn't there another team in this? Portland?
Portland. What do we think about Portland?
I think Portland did what Portland does. Three-card Monty. How many times I got to say this? It's stall tactics. Hey, guys, we're rebuilding. You never tried to win in the first place.
I like it. I like it. I'm on a verge of almost loving it. I'm on a verge of almost loving it.
Yeah, and I think as fans, we got to recognize there are certain teams that are not about the business of winning championships.
And I'm not cool with that. No, I'm not jacking that. I'm not cool with that though. That's not acceptable to me.
I mean, and that's why we got to call them out, Pete. And I think, hey, first call out got to be Portland. You know, they haven't shown us anything since Bill Walton left that they're willing to do anything to win the championship.
And that's the crazy thing is, I think they did. They made it to the finals with Drexler. And that was like looking back, that wasn't even a good team.
Looking back, the league wasn't even that good.
Well, bro,
they drafted that team, and they didn't have to do it. Management didn't have to do any heavy work as far as recruiting, getting players to sign with them, or getting free agents to come through. Management hasn't had to do any heavy work, like I said, since Bill Walton left town. No,
they had to. They just didn't.
Yeah.
Like, you had Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. You could have built on that. I truly believe that. You could have built a championship contender out of that. They didn't. They let CJ go.
Mm-hmm.
And then they let Dame. Like, I don't want to say losers, but sometimes you got to do stuff that you don't want to do, or say stuff. They're losers. They don't want to win. They don't. Shout out to the Portland Trailblazer fan base. They're loyal and all of that, but they're being bamboozled.
Well, we'll find out a few things. For one, was it Monty? If this guy develops into a really good player, well, either that or Ayton needs to be out the league. If he doesn't do it now, with no pressure in Portland, Ayton needs to be out the league. So if he steps up, then, well, Monty has a lot to, begrudging, to say the least. I didn't want to bring up Scoot, so I'll leave that to the side. Shaden gets, all these players now gets to, Fernie. These players now get to come out. You got Simon, you got Shaden. I want the next level of guys. You're not handcuffed by Dame and Dame's antics on the side of help me. Now these guys get to play and be free. I put it this way, I'll pick Portland and be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Put your name on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pick Portland to be a playoff team.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
One last thing about this trade I wanted to discuss with you guys. Drew Holiday is going to have to be moved. Who do we think? I kind of want to ask this question two ways. Who do we think is best in position to get him, and who do we think needs him the most out of the championship contending teams out there?
Huh. You want to go? Which? You want to go Celtics? You want to go Lakers? You want to go Phoenix? You want to go Miami?
Like I said, who do you think is in the best position? Let me ask that first question first. Who's in the best position to get him?
Probably the Clippers.
Why you say that?
It's their type of move. It's their type of move.
P?
I think Miami needs him the most because to me they're out of contention in the East. I know they surprise us every year, but I don't see them beating the Celtics or the Bucks. So to me, Miami's off the table in the East. Drew could help them climb back up, but I don't want him to go there. I'd rather him go to like Boston or any of those top four teams in the West.
If he goes to Boston, you need to check all of our pulses. Adam Silver has turned this league into steroid league now after that. There's not a game that you're going to not want to watch every night. Who wants to watch a Tuesday night in November Milwaukee Bucks game?
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to tell me this Drew's going to go to Boston and add more defense? Drew's going to pick up what they lost in just one player if he goes there. Like these little moves listen, a macro level, I guess NFL is going to be king. But this league is right on your heels the way they make moves and just do it right.
And let me ask you guys this. What do you think is the best place for Drew to be in to win a championship? Which team gives him the best opportunity to win a championship?
I probably have to go with Denver.
Or what team can he be the missing piece to a championship puzzle?
I would say Denver.
Oh,
obviously they could win it without him, but I think that'll give him the best chance.
okay.
Well, especially because they lost Bowen, and he's a better offensive player than Bowen. I would want him on LA so bad.
Lakers, that is.
Absolutely. I don't think the Clippers should be in the league.
Yeah, I kind of they did the opposite. Hill, like if you tell me the Clippers are playing, you need to tell me who, because I'm probably not going to watch it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I pretty much have discounted them. Like, give me Sacramento, give me Oklahoma City, give me Minnesota.
I can't watch a Clipper game. Like it's just unwatchable. Yeah, for me it would be the Lakers and oh man, and definitely the Celtics. Like it's what the Celtics need.
I was going to say this. I think his best chance to win a championship would probably be with the Celtics.
A scoring defensive stalwart, having Williams as an anchor and not having to have the unicorn have to play pretty much defense with having him down there. Like, I don't know how I wouldn't have Boston the favorites in the East, even with Giannis and Dame.
Yeah. If they were able to add Drew Holiday, that would be crazy.
So we have to wait it out. If you're right, Mo, if he can't stay there and he will be released, that would be a game changer right then and there. And I would think that since they lost the whole Dame thing, I would think Pat Riley would try to throw everything towards getting Drew, probably, right?
Yeah, but and this is a little come for the Knicks fans out there. I really think that the New York Knicks have everything they would need to secure Drew Holiday. I think if if the Knicks were to be aggressive in their pursuit of him, I think they can get him, and they probably have the best opportunity. I think the Knicks have like 8 first-round picks between now and 2035 or something like that. So, whatchamacallit, and they have young players that they can afford to get rid of, or afford to lose to add Drew Holiday. And I
He's
think
your
that's
player.
exactly
Where you having Drew? Is your 2 guard?
yeah. I would pair him up with Jalen Brunson and figure it out, because I think both of those players are smart enough to be able to play with each other, and that's what I would be counting on.
All right, let me ask you a question. Two wild cards, right? Would you pair him up with C.J. McCullough?
Yeah. If I'm the Pelicans, I make that move.
Zion and Ingram and give them a brain
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be
I think
amazing.
that
And my other team is, think about that team and think about another bonehead organization. Would you team him up with Anthony Edwards?
Yes.
No, I if I was Minnesota, I would do it if I was a smart organization and knew what I was doing. But I don't think they're built like that. I think they're another one of those teams that's happy to be mediocre and taking their fans' money.
You got to think, 2 years ago, they were playoff contention with Pat Bev.
Mm-hmm.
If you put Drew with Anthony Edwards, I think it just you're putting Drew on the right path, at least with someone who's interested in basketball just as much as he is. And you find a way to get that guy Towns out of there, unless Towns changes his tune.
Yeah, in that case.
Go ahead, P. I'm sorry.
No, in that case, I would want that move for Anthony Edwards because I feel like that would accelerate his growth. But I don't like it for Drew Holiday because I want him to compete for a championship like now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it would be a good move for the team. I would want to see him on Dallas. To me, Drew Holiday fits everywhere.
Right.
Like I think he'd be a good fit in Dallas. Like I just, I think you could put him anywhere.
I
don't think he would be.
As much as I love the guy, I think the one place where I hate Kyrie the most is Dallas. I hate it with a passion. I feel it's like oil and water with them too. I think that should be just Luka's team, and if you had Drew with him, it's a difference with Kyrie. Drew knows his role, and it's like Brunson. He'll be able to play off and still have that identity that's his squad. And I think from a standpoint, whether it be in practice or just seeing it, most people will say that Luka is better than Kyrie. And just watching in the games, Luka might look at Kyrie and just literally like, I'm not better than that guy. And Kyrie damn sure feels he's better than Luka. It just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I wanted Kyrie so much on the Lakers so bad, because you needed that ego for him and LeBron to really work out. And if LeBron takes that rest, this kid could make AD play well. Could make you need that type of play for him. Him with Luka is pretty much. Kyrie scored. I mean, yeah, they didn't make, but he went on times where he scored 19 points in the fourth quarter, and Luka scored nothing.
Yeah, I think some of these teams are so stacked. Like, okay, you got Kyrie and Luka. Okay, like it's no longer enough. You know what I mean? Like, I think you got like Booker and Bill can match that. But they have KD. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not enough.
Can I throw another team out there for you guys to think about? What about the Sacramento Kings?
Yeah, like I said, he fits anywhere. But I wouldn't want him there because I don't think they're championship ready.
Right.
Hey
They're
guys,
not going to come off a D-Lo, though, will they? They're not going to come off a D-Lo.
Yeah, I'm with you on that
Who's
Kyrie
that?
to the Lakers. I blew mine, man.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
I wanted Kyrie on the Lakers so bad.
That was it.
Hey guys, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you think. What do you think about this big Damian Lillard trade? Do you think this moves the needle? Where do you think Drew Holiday will end up? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, what's on the radar?
For me, it's how Boulder reacts. You know what I mean? If these are learning lessons, do they go further? Do they continue on and, you know, keep pushing in the right direction? Or, you know, you start believing some of the media and you're not feeling that good about yourselves. And they got a good coach that should keep their heads up and just continue to push on. So I'm real curious to see which way they go with the fork in the road now, since they had 2 consecutive losses.
Pete, what's on the radar, man?
Tonight, fight night, Canelo Alvarez against Jabel Charlo. I'm here for that. Big fight tonight. Big fight fans, man. Big fight tonight.
Me, what's on my radar? WNBA playoffs. New York Liberty, will they be able to close it out tomorrow? So we'll see that. And also the finals, you know, WNBA finals. Can't wait. It's coming next week. So can't wait, fellas. We here. And that's what's on my radar. Anything else before we head out, fellas?
That's all. That's it. Waiting for the fight tonight. NBA season can't come soon enough, man.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
Sir. So all our fists out there, stay safe. We out.
Peace.
Peace.